Hi slugs, right now it is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Tuesday. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Tuesday to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
We love you, Athletic Greens. With Dipsea, your sanctuary is waiting. Escape into a world where pleasure is your only priority.
Ooh.
For listeners of our show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/Tuesday. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/Tuesday.
You can see me on the road. I've been having the best time. It's like, I know I say this every time, but it's really unbelievable. It's my favorite thing to do is meet you guys to perform for you. Total honor. I love it. You guys are, I think I have the best audience in the world. I really do believe that. You can see me. I'm going to be in Austin, Texas at the Vulcan Theater on I think July 29th. I will also be in Springfield, Missouri in the Blue Room Comedy Club August 19th and 20th. I'll be in Pittsburgh in September, Tempe in September, Caluso, California, September 30th at a casino. It's going to be so fun. One night only. Then I have a bunch of dates in a bunch of other places. Go to annieletterman.com/shows. I am probably coming to you. So Esther, I just wanted to ask.
What?
So that picture you posted with was the Chanel was fake?
Oh, yes.
Oh, because the Louis is real.
But can I flex my fake Chanel for a second?
Yes, no, it is so cute.
I found it in my childhood bedroom. I bought it in high school.
Oh, it's perfect.
In 2005. It's a very Y2K.
I decided to dress like Marc Maron today.
Wait, but also my bag, this is a Coach bag from high school.
I mean, I think it's cute what you're doing, but I think you're not like hitting the challenge.
What do you mean? What challenge?
The challenge is how much money can we spend?
Oh, fuck.
The challenge is we have a very rich, born from a wealthy family,
Carlos.
co-producer, whatever the hell we call him.
So, okay, can you
Friend?
explain what happened? Carlos got
a chain. Okay, Carlos got a Louis Vuitton chain.
It's the only time I've ever replied to his story, by the way.
That's
because
so
of the chain.
sad. She hates you.
Well, can I
She's
say?
posted me. She doesn't hate me.
I have been
She's trying to cover up the hate. A DM is truth.
I want to know if you guys think I've been doing the right thing or the wrong thing. For months,
Wrong.
Carlos has been telling me he wants a chain, and I've been like, I don't know, like I don't think so. And he finally got it.
And everyone's happy. Everyone around is happy.
Look, it's a great choice.
I want to scream.
Rarely do I ever say like, oh my God, I need that.
I'm going to get the gold one. I'm going to get the gold one.
Okay.
I went in to get the gold one. So I have a rule with Louis Vuitton because I am now trying to trust that I am going to have money. I don't want to live with the story that money's going to run out. And I want to I don't want to be someone that hoards and is scared. I want to trust that it's happening.
I love this.
So when Carlos sent the picture of him, when he tagged us in a story where he said, did you say challenge?
No, I didn't say
I
challenge.
took it as a challenge.
Yeah.
He was buying the chain. He tagged us in it. I wrote challenge accepted. I immediately went to the Louis Vuitton store. When I walk into a Louis Vuitton store, I have one rule. You're leaving buying something.
Hell yeah.
You're not window shopping. Window shopping is old, poor people thought. Not to calling you guys poor. You can rise up. If I can do it, I lived in my car 3 years ago. If I can do it, you can do it. Seriously.
Agreed.
I did it off of jokes. You guys can figure out your thing.
Saw you living in your car with a makeup bag that was a grocery plastic bag.
I know. I'm like,
We already established that she still carries that
look,
around.
I got this.
That's
but
way
it
better.
still has the tag. And my mouth guard is loosely floating in there with a bunch of makeup.
I'm really into the cufflinks.
I like the colored one, but I really
This is the one you want, but
in gold. It's men's. But in gold.
Mm.
And it's really, so I went in for that and they didn't have it. And then I was like, I got to just buy.
Oh,
Esther
wait,
sent me
scroll
a
up.
picture.
What was that colorful? Oh
Aren't
my
they
God.
so cute?
What is that? How
This?
much is that?
$5.90.
$5.90.
That's
Oh, it's a
pretty
bracelet.
cheap.
I want that as a necklace.
But
I
it's
want it
like
as
the
a necklace too.
Balenciaga
Well, you're
one
little.
you got.
Less carbs, you can do it. You're about a week away, bitch. Honestly,
get my
you're a week away. My Nuva ring would fit around your neck.
Should I get this ring?
Esther, come get my. Will you test if my new ring will fit around her neck? Yeah. Ooh, that felt good. You're like
Same.
wet hair. She actually bathed.
I'll say this, I didn't dislike it.
Oh, really? Was it like a soft pillow?
It was nice.
Did my faux pas hang over you? Isn't that so cute?
That's
It
one
is
you
great.
want.
Oh,
I do love it on the model too.
He
Carlos,
looks
are
great.
you okay with me matching your necklace?
Completely.
I-
Yes.
I'll tell you why you have to. I'm Asian, so when
You
we
are?
match with a person, it means we're in a committed relationship.
Wow.
Okay, you know
So
what's so
twinning is
annoying?
not just twinning. Twinning means like that's our way of showing PDA because we're not going to make out in public, but it's going to be known we're together.
I guess I'm
This
buying
is actually
everything
pretty
Khalyla has.
unacceptable. We've literally been here trying to get you to match us on everything.
I did. It's Celine's.
You did one thing. One thing. She got a tattoo of your name, you fucking bitch.
Celine's, you
fucking
guys.
you ingrate.
hold on.
To be
1 second.
honest, I would prefer if we just kind of try to brush the tattoo under the rug.
Well, the tattoo is not.
From
It's
a
not a
finan-
fake tattoo. It was actually a real tattoo.
I
that's
know.
gonna
I'm
be with you
starting to
forever.
think that is a very real tattoo,
So
Esther.
is everyone
All
else.
the other ones are fading except that one.
From a financial standpoint, I'm gonna say that the Celines were a bigger commitment than the tattoo. What do you think?
I'll accept that.
Price-wise.
By the way, I have no qualms about the tattoo. I'm happy with the tattoo. If I never see you again,
I've never seen someone lying more.
No,
Her
no.
nose is growing. Okay, Pinocchio.
I never need to see her again. I will always be happy that I have this on my
Don't
body.
do this. She's such not a drug addict. She's like, look, this is the Khalyla sign.
Wait,
I got
can
great druggy veins. Oh, you
Ooh.
guys, I have the juiciest.
Oh, I literally
juiciest-
kegeled when I saw that.
Right?
Yes.
When phlebotomists see me, they're just
Don't
they,
you
they get
dare.
so wet.
Don't use
Can
like
I-
phlebotomist like it's just nothing.
Can I flex that
I
today?
literally, is that a zoo animal? What's a phlebotomist?
It's the person who takes your blood.
That's their name is phlebotomist?
That's,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Is blood in there? The etymology of it is blood.
Yeah.
Flow and blood. Phlebotomist.
Yeah.
You guys,
Phlebotomist?
can I flex that I'm having a Y2K moment because
Why is there
Low
a period stain?
rise.
No, she's Von Dutching. Where are they
And
from?
a belly chain.
Oh, I'm getting
Wow.
those. I'm getting the ones that are like, are they on forever?
No, what do
I'm
you
getting
mean?
the like beads where they're like, you put them on. If you want to lose weight, you get them tight.
I'll get.
So they fuck with you while you eat.
Wait, can I get one that says Khalyla if it's on forever?
Wait a second. That's like when
I
have
met
you
this girl
guys
at the nail
seen
salon.
like culturally some women out of Myanmar, they have their rings around their neck and they add a ring for each
Lover. I would be like, very tall.
phase of their life. So like
Ooh.
it's like
How's it going down there, guys?
the longer your neck is, the more regarded you are, like in society, is how I believe it. But if you commit a crime, they take that thing off, so then you no longer have the neck support. So you're you're like the bent neck lady.
So does it actually?
That's like Esther. Is that what happened to you, Esther? Is that why your neck is?
I got mine taken off. Does it actually make your neck longer to wear those?
I mean, it looks like their necks are far longer than they would
that.
normally be, but I think it's so beautiful, and I think we should start with that with a
I
belly
want
chain.
that. I want that before I go on a plane. So when I just
You're right.
guys, I wear my mask. Can I just tell you, I will never not wear my mask on the plane. I am a gape open mouth. Like the second I'm on a plane, my head hits the window. Yes, it's a window seat. Don't you fuck with me with an aisle. There's no middles in
Oh my
first
god,
class,
we'd be
guys.
so perfect together. I like the aisle.
You
Who
were not
likes
first
the aisle?
class.
Esther.
I wouldn't even speak to you on a plane.
Wait, Andy, can you show visually how it looks?
I
when you're
can
asleep on the
describe.
plane?
It looks like.
Because
let's
I
just
can
say-
show you visually what I look
It looks
like.
like my parents have to make a very tough decision about whether to unplug me or not. Like, is the heart still there? Is the consciousness? Like, I'm like, it's so open. Like, when I wake up, my mask is wet. It's wet. It's wide. It looks like, you know when guys with beards have and they're all stretched down? Like, it's like this open. I'm like, it's a full, like, Beetlejuice in the waiting room, like, stretched out.
This
mouth.
is I'm getting pick me vibes. You're just laying there, open mouth.
I cover it, but it's insert here, but I have one hole.
I
it's
think
ribbed.
I'm like you. My problem is not.
Pick me. We are skull fuckers. So
Yeah.
skull,
You know what
the skull
I would
fuck,
do?
We're skull fuckies.
You're just sitting here bragging.
I would
Guys,
insert a
I'm
Quizno
available.
sandwich.
Oh,
Mems.
guys, I found a sext that he sent me.
Yeah. What did it
Is
say?
it okay?
Yeah. Because
Were you-
wasn't
By
he-
the way, I did
Remind-
get my people to cut up the clip and not to be I know it all, but it did go viral. I just did ask people for that clip, and it was the most popular clip I've ever posted.
Reminder, guys, we're talking about the guy who Annie made out with on a plane that we found out on the show has perished.
Yeah, and
Since
he.
perished.
I remember you
Perished.
saying
It sounds like he fingered me and then turned into dust and blew
Imploded.
away.
The
it's
plane
been
went
known
down
to
with it.
happen.
It has. It happens a lot. I'm like Medusa, but my pussy. I'm a pussa. Mapusa.
Oh, now I just want a papusa.
Oh, I
You
love
have a
pupusas.
pupusa.
Do you put the
Honestly, to wear low-rise jeans that early, it's a little rough.
do you eat it with the cortito?
What's that?
It's like the kind of, it's like their coleslaw.
She
that goes
doesn't
with
eat
the
any of it.
pupusa.
never
Carlos
had
doesn't
that.
let her. Carlos smacks it out of her hand.
That's not true. I have pupusas.
The cortito is right next to it. Go back 2 pictures. You have to eat it with that. It's like a slaw.
Oh, I never had that.
It really is so fucking good. What is
It's
it,
the best.
Peruvian?
It's like, oh,
No, it's Salvadorian.
El Salvadorian.
it's so
Salt of-
fluffy. Benji's housekeeper used to make them for us.
I mean, it's... If you wanted people to be more upset with you,
That was the line.
you're like, sometimes I'm on a diet, and sometimes I have a ethnic woman handing me food.
It's not my housekeeper. I'm
I
just the
know,
house
but-
guest.
That's friend privilege. That's
Yeah.
rich guy friend privilege.
And I'm all about it.
I have the same neck problem as you on the plane, but my other problem on the plane is I don't like my feet on the ground. I cannot sleep or nap with my feet
Because
like
you're meant
this.
to be giving birth. Let's be honest.
Well, I think it's because like I feel lightheaded and like my blood pressure drops. So I always have to have like my knees to my chest. But this is
you're
what I look like on the
because you're
plane.
covering your vagina because you were raped by every doctor.
So I do this, or I'm leaning like this, but I'm like bouncing. This
Oh
way.
yeah. Oh, I get smacked. But
Yeah.
Are you good at falling asleep? Because I will fall asleep.
I can fall asleep just about anywhere. Yeah.
Oh, guys. Also, I want to mark this day as the day that Annie Letterman learned about TikTok contouring filters. Do you see my button nose?
It looks
see it?
really good.
If you look up close, it's pretty bad.
How did you do that?
They have they have a filter where you put it on, you follow the lines. And it's of a very petite, beautiful Asian woman. So I have an Asian woman's contoured nose.
I have a question about that though, because a lot of times they're trying to make the nose skinnier, right? How do I make the nose less of a bird beak? Because mine is very narrow this way up front.
Take a knuckle sandwich for once, bitch.
Just flatten it.
I'm gonna punch you I'm gonna punch you to the moon.
Let's go.
I'm gonna punch you to the moon. You're gonna come back so cute.
So I'm not trying to decrease the width. I'm trying to decrease the length at which it protrudes. Does that make sense?
Well, you have to elongate the chin.
Oh, we
Or
gotta
bring the
cheat
forehead
it.
out. I'm gonna give you some filler. Okay, wait. Dr. Annie's here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some. Oh, do we have we don't have a red pointer, do we?
Seems
Seems like something we would
like
have.
a laser cat
A laser pointer? Does that not seem like something we have? We definitely have one, right? We might have it in the back. Yes, Pete. Pete gets it.
Yeah, you can tell me everything that's wrong in my face.
I want to do the Lorenzo Lamas.
What's that?
He had a show. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. I brought it up on this before.
Yeah, we
But it
couldn't
was like
find
hot or not or something, and they would have girls come out and they'd like circle what they needed to change about themselves.
What? That was
It's like
a show?
TV has fallen.
No
TV has
wonder
fallen.
we're all so fucked up.
I mean,
It's been the Renegades' fault this whole time.
laser pointer. Okay, let's
Okay,
play this
all
game.
right. So Dr. Annie's here. Okay. I blind her.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, close your eyes. Okay, I
Oh,
would
it's
first of
open.
all.
'Cause you have to keep my eyes open because I have asymmetry in my eyes. One is
Oh,
bigger than
thank
the
you
other.
for mentioning it. I've been disgusted by you the whole time. Fucking lazy.
Okay,
guy.
here we go.
Okay, first of all, thin the lips out. I would take the lips are just they're
They're
juicy.
overlined. They're overlined.
They're juice. Don't say what's happening with my lips to my. Don't project.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, wait. So the juicy lips are actually they're offsetting the tiny little button nose.
The tiny little button nose doctor. I'm
First
not
of
sure
all,
you're.
we're gonna make the gap bigger because I like the gap. I want to stick my dick
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
You
wait.
guys-
Gap wideners.
I want to widen the gap.
That's a thing. So I saw some girl doing it on TikTok.
Widening the gap sounds like we're just taking a pay cut. We're like, we want to widen the gap. Okay, we want guys to make more money than us. Okay, so we wanted to match your thigh gap. Only one. Now you have a thigh gap too. I'm the only one with the fucking.
I will never
starting
have
a fire with my fucking corduroys. Okay.
Okay, what else?
Wait, but can I?
No, for real though, I would bring out the forehead. You want to
Bring
make
out.
this? You want to shave down the honker?
Yeah.
without
Should we
the
go
fucking-
no
No, look
nose?
here. This one.
Cut the nose off.
Let's remove the nose completely.
Okay, we'll add filler here that pulls it out.
Where,
That evens it
where?
out. We add filler down to the tip.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a straight line.
Okay.
Then we pull the forehead
What
out.
about my jawline?
The jawline, perfect. We like the jawline. Very
needed to hear
masculine. It matches the shoulders.
I have a serious
And
question.
then no more tits. And
Would we all do...
someone was like, you got to stop telling Khalyla that she's pretty. All right, she's an ugly bitch. And we're listening. Thanks, guys. Better show now, right? You're ugly.
Would you guys do the gap filler thing, or the thing that it's a device that you put on your teeth that literally widens the gap? Would
they have that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want it on you. These are too close.
Would we
We
do
have a
it?
TikTok with it right here.
Let's
Even
see.
her
Oh,
teeth
here
are
we go.
codependent.
Annie,
look
look
at
at
them
this.
smushing together. That's how wide they get? That seems a little too wide.
I think
That's like you can't keep liquid in your mouth wide.
I think the goal is to get a strawberry stuck in
Oh,
there.
she's getting them smaller.
No, that this is the order at which she's widening her gap.
I'm happy people are like,
Jesus.
It looks like it would hurt, but would you guys do it or not? For real?
no.
My mom would kill me. She spent so much of her money
Your
with
teeth are
braces.
so, guys, I can't do it. She's so pretty.
I would
Look at
consider-
her. She's so pretty. Esther's pretty too. People are like, why are you so mean? Because it's funny to be mean to Esther. Do you guys understand? It's the funny. She likes it. She's pretending she
pleads.
doesn't right now.
Yeah, but she's also low key the hottest one.
I know, but it's
guys,
funny. You get to
there's
be
no
like
the hottest
you get to be. I mean,
high-key
guys,
even.
come on. I'm. No, but Esther, Esther's fun because then it's like they go, oh, it's a secret we figured out that Esther's hot. It's like I've known this bitch for a while. Okay,
Yeah,
she can get
Esther,
all
you-
the pussy in the world. Okay?
You've been hot the moment I laid eyes on you.
Thank you. I appreciate your support.
but she has to play this game, or her hot girl investigations don't work. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. That it's a game. You're right. I'm just pretending to be ugly.
Now again, guys,
I have
if
a
you could just
dilemma.
go back to the Me Inspiration episode where we figured out that Esther is just kind of constantly just doing a webinar, just tip-topping.
You know, you're our resident inspector and investigative journalist.
I would
I
actually
feel.
take, I would actually take the labia
Yeah,
from here.
yeah.
I'd place it on the labial folds of your nose.
I think that's genius. Would it
I
just
would-
flap? They would just.
I would just
flap.
put, a pussy on your cheeks. I would
on
put
my
one
nose.
here.
Replace my nose
Your
with a pussy.
nose will look smaller if the puffy pussy lips are here. Like you're a baseball player.
So this is a bit of a long story. So sit tight.
Dare you to get through it without me interrupting.
Sit tight.
I'm gonna try.
This is what I need from you guys. I need you to tell me what to do
Okay.
because I am very conflicted in the moment. So
Do this. Let's
Yeah.
all get this.
what do you call it? The ponytail snatch?
Yeah,
The
let's all
ponytail
get the
facelift?
little like sewn in. It only lasts like 2 weeks. You're like, was this worth it?
Is that with the
Starts
thread?
drooping. One goes first. You're like, uh-oh.
Okay, back on track.
Sorry.
On track. Good attempt, Annie. Okay, here we go. So, about a month and a half ago, my sister's car got broken into, and all of our dive gear got stolen. And if you guys don't know, dive gear can be very expensive. For instance, one pair of fins, one of her pair of fins is a Meandros fins. Each one is $800. So you guys buy Louis Vuitton. We buy expensive dive gear, right?
I don't buy Louis Vuitton, just to be clear.
By the way, yes, you do. It's like enough is enough. Join the club.
My
The Esther
designer
Club.
purse was
So-
under $400.
The rear
2005.
windshield was smashed into. These things got taken. But we're like, well, how many people really are going around with Meandros fins, right? So my friends then went on Craigslist, and today they found the perpetrators reselling the exact. So 2 fins were stolen. There were a pink and a blue pair. One was Julie's.
Oh,
one
that's
was my
so
sister.
gender neutral of them.
And so they took a picture. Here's a mistake they made. They didn't sell them separately. They took a picture of all of our stuff bunched up together, so I can see that it's all of our stuff. And they are reselling it on Craigslist, right? But instead of just calling cops, because we filed a police report and we had the police report number, we went ahead and got the phone number connected to the Craigslist account, and we found these
Was it
people
Brendan Schaub?
online.
Was it his team? Was it Thick Boy Studios?
Close. and so what happened was, when I saw the photograph of the woman and her husband, they looked like a very happy couple with 5 children. And now I don't know if I should pursue it.
Let's call
or
them right
not.
now. Do you have their phone number?
I do, because we've been in contact. Like, hey, I'm interested in buying. Like, I'm interested. I went ahead and was going to repurchase it, call the police and show up and grab the stuff. But then now I'm like,
Yeah, maybe you don't have to get the police involved, but maybe you go like, this is your last shot. But
That's what I wanted to do.
you can't be breaking into people's cars. Like,
Yeah,
what
can
if
I ask-
like your sister, like they don't know what financially your sister can afford. It's like, what if they put
Can
her
I
into
ask you this? Are you 100% sure that those are yours?
100%.
Can
They
you tell
even
me
have
why?
a picture of my lobster gauge, which is only all of my stuff was purchased from one specific dive shop, and where my dive stuff was stolen, none of this stuff is sold.
Speaking of lobster gauges, can you spread your legs? I want to see what I would do down here. Okay. Oh my God, there's a hole.
You guys, our next partner has a product I use literally every day.
It's so good.
I know Annie takes it too.
No, I started taking Athletic Greens. I learned
You're
about
such a copier.
I know from you guys. But what I love about it is it's all right there in one simple step. I mix it in with some juice. I know you guys do it with water, and then I have all the nutrients
You just have to be a baby
that
about
I
things.
need in a day. And I don't have to be stressing about, I'm having a cheeseburger today. No, I already got the veggies.
I'm going to make a bra of Athletic Greens so you can suckle it out of me
Thank
to be a
you.
bigger baby. 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Yes, I sort of said that correct. To help keep you okay.
Start your day right.
Start is a hard word for me.
And this special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy recovery, focus, and aging. All of the things that are important.
Plus, it's keto, it's paleo, it's vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, and it only contains less than 1 gram of sugar. No GMOs, no nasty chemicals. We hate the nasty chemicals.
It does taste good though too.
Or anything artificial. And yeah, it really does taste good. It's a very mild tasting flavor. I drink it with just cold water.
Yeah,
and
me
it is
too.
perfect. In fact, I kind of crave the flavor.
Yeah. It just feels good. It's like, it feels like a healthy little.
It feels like a life hack. Like, oh my God, I can just get all of this in one fell swoop.
It's the first thing I do in the morning. It just eliminates all, stressing out about, did I eat this right? Did I eat for like the rest of the day?
I love taking my little packets on the road too. It keeps me just like having a normalcy while I'm just running around everywhere.
You guys, right now, it is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. There's no need for millions of pills and supplements to look out for your health.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Tuesday. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/Tuesday to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Yeah, I've been robbed before, and it's such a horrible feeling. You just feel helpless, vulnerable. Like, I hate that feeling so much. And when someone broke, basically what happened, well, I can get into that later, but I think that...
Just get into it.
Okay. So my old apartment that... basically, I had an apartment that I shared with my friend, who you all know.
My nanny.
Who is also my nanny. And when I moved out, I left a lot of my stuff there, and she took over for me. So it was like our apartment still. She's still there, and she was Airbnb-ing it. And when she did, someone broke through like the locked door and stole a bunch of our stuff. And a lot of my stuff got stolen, and I just felt so violated. It was like stuff from high school. I was never going to get back. But then some of it did get recovered by the police. And getting it back I just felt so good about it. And I know that's not really exactly relevant, but I do think that as someone who knows what it feels like to be robbed, like, I think you should do whatever you can to like get justice.
I have a question. Did the cops feel robbed when they spent a whole day finding Britney Spears posters for you? Were they
Taxpayers
like,
did.
Are you kidding me? This was our fucking day, bitch. Is there not a cat in a tree I can save?
That's the taxpayers'
So
problem.
a part of me just wants to offer it up to the cycle of life, of tragedies and celebrations, good things, bad things. That's how, when it happened, my sister and Jules were obviously very like upset because I had gifted them most of those things, which are, Jules can't afford that like on her own, and she like loves to dive. So I was just gonna be like, look guys, it's just objects, very replaceable things, let's not cry about it. So my instinct when I saw the picture of the husband and wife, and I'm like, 5 children, I went like sleuthing, like I got all of their information. I'm like, I just don't know if I want to like, You know what I mean? Like theft. Oh, here's another piece of information I want you to have. They didn't steal wallet, money, or anything else. They just stole the dive stuff. So there is some integrity in the theft.
No.
Or it's easier to sell that and you could get busted stealing someone's stuff.
Versus a credit card.
Is there a
and
world
stuff
where
like
you
that.
could give them a chance?
Like this isn't an eBay drop-off store. Like this is like they
Could you
broke into the
ask,
car.
hey, just curious, where did you guys get these?
Well, that's already they're never going to reply to you after
Here's
that.
the thing. I think you just go and then you go with like, get some muscle.
Yeah.
Showing up is scary because
Scary.
then you don't know who has a gun and who's like.
Are they gonna shoot them? She got to bring your spear gun, bring your stuff, come in full dive gear. Okay. It's like I'm assuming it's bulletproof.
Yeah, no, almost just the
Can you
chest
imagine?
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just come in like a bulletproof like SWAT team thing, but with fins. Okay, so they know your craft, and then be like, "This is my stuff. Grab it." I think it's like because I do understand like this sort of like forgiveness aspect where you're like, okay, you're like, this is your hustle and you're trying to take care of your family. You don't want to get them like arrested or your family like separated, but you need your shit back and you need like to have a moment where you're like, this is my shit.
But couldn't
my
I do
shit.
that without having people involved? Like, how is there a way where I could
How do you
just
get
be
your
like,
stuff back?
just like, hey, can I like pretend that I'm buying it, right? And then I go there and I'm like, look, guys, like
That was the plan, yeah.
no cops involved, just being like, look, like I really don't want to like out you.
Just
like,
roll
I
up in a
really just
tank.
love this stuff. I want to give you guys like, offer you grace. Can I just take my stuff back?
But then you're just expecting that someone who robbed you is going to be like.
A good person.
Yeah. And that's really probably not the case.
And they'll just keep doing it. It's like, you can't, I've been trying to work on this too with my ego where it's like, I have this like desire to like teach people lessons. It's just like not my business to teach them lessons, but is my boundary. It's like, if you steal my shit, I want it back. Like, and I like give it back to me.
There's also so many scammers out there. I can't tell you how many times I've been driving around in LA. The most recent one was such an obvious scam. They threw something at my car while I was driving to make it sound like I hit them. So they told me to pull over. I was so scared because I'm always like, I'm sure I did it wrong, right? But then I put it together. I'm like, I never touched their car. And of course, when I pull over, they're like, we're driving our sick grandma for her cancer treatments. They had this whole
You're
story.
like, wrong girl. I don't even talk to
Exactly.
my grandmother. That bitch won't give me my jewelry.
No, it was, and this was like a couple years ago, like, and I was just like, I'm sorry, like, I'm a babysitter. I gave him like $50 cash. And
You
was like,
are a babysitter.
I know. I was like, and it always happened to me too when I was driving in my 01 Camry. I feel like they saw me as this victim that they could take advantage of. It always happened. And like, why do I have to fucking deal with that? I know it's.
Well, maybe they just thought there was no one in the car. They're like, this car's driving and stuff. We got to throw something to stop it.
it's a ghost.
That's Bobby does something similar, but he's afraid of paperwork. So he'll never call like 911 even if someone's like dying in front of him. He'll
Good
never
to know.
assist. He'll never be a good Samaritan like to someone dying because he's just like, paperwork, can't do paperwork. I can't stay for paperwork.
Yeah.
So we dropped off one of our foster dogs 2 weeks ago, and coming out of the parking lot, he barely tapped into another car that was parked, and it was in a neighborhood. And he initially was like, well, that was barely anything, right? But then the dude came out. And he was like, hey, like, nice man. He was like, did you like hit my car? And he just wanted to get out of it. He's like, this means paperwork, insurance companies. I don't want to deal with it. $500. He was like, here you go. And the guy
He's like,
was the
it's like stuck to
happiest.
so much stuff. It's like, you're going to have to peel it out of this Taco Bell, but it's here.
Right. It's but
It's all in crumples here.
and the car, by the way, was like a really beat up. Like it had so many like, dings and scratches on it. But he was like, just take it. I don't want to deal with the paperwork. And the guy was so fucking happy. And I was like, why'd you do that? Like, there's insurance for a reason. But then he has a point. It's like, I have it. I don't want to deal with it. Let's just go.
You can do that. But I also look at it like this, like what you don't know, it's a dangerous thing to steal from people. It's not like just like a chill, like, oh, this was an opportunity. Like they stole from 6 cars. How do you know that they're not going to do that and there's going to be like a shootout at some point? Or they're not going to like do that to someone who has nothing. That's all they had,
Right.
Or they have a family. Like just because you guys don't have kids doesn't mean that like you couldn't have been a family going that had the
Right.
surf
And my
stuff, you
sister
know?
said the same thing because I was like, well, what about if they're hard up? She was like, Khalyla, there are a lot of people who are hard up and don't
Yes,
do
there's
that.
a million things you can
and
do.
don't do that at
Also,
all. You
The
know?
internet
5
exists.
kids, like, it's not like abortions are illegal yet, you know?
But I tried to do the math in my head, and all 5 kids are grown. So I think it's actually not the couple in the picture that are the perpetrators, but one of their kids who are using the mom's, like, you know, family plan.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's
So we go with the
breaking
cop
into
route.
people's houses. Like, it's
Honestly, like,
it's unsafe.
it's
Like, if they're willing to break the law there, where else are they willing to break the law? Like, you don't know. It's just like, they're like, wow, we just need some formula for our kid. It's like, so does fucking all of our fucking rich, everybody needs formula for their kids. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you gotta like, and I understand that there's like, you know, but is the charity letting someone rob you? I don't know.
yeah, maybe
know.
maybe to feel better, there's another form of charity you can like support, like just to offset how you feel about taking that away
Like
from
with
those
Thieves
people.
Anonymous.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But I know what you mean. It's hard when people are struggling, like that's hard, but also being robbed fucking sucks. I've had when Dave's car has been broken into. It's so violating.
It's so violating. My car was broken into not that long ago, and it was like, so yeah, you just feel like shit. Like, they just took like, and it wasn't even that much stuff, but then it's weird when they break in and they leave certain things. I'm like, that's weird too. I'm like, why is there
That's
only
what
one shoe? What did you do?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they left all of what I thought was, like, you know, like money and credit card and everything. So in my head, I was like, there's some integrity here.
I disagree. I feel like they saw the valuable equipment, broke it, took that as quick as they could, and didn't dig around.
And also, you found them for a reason. Like,
Okay,
you know,
that's a good
it's like
point,
the
yeah.
universe brought them to you. It's like justice shall be served.
Right. And it's not even just me who found him. It was the dive community. Because here's what I love about it. It's like I was about to buy the whole new set over again. And instead of the dive shop owner saying, you know what, or probably making an extra $2,000 that day on stuff that I was going to purchase, she was like, no, like, let me try and find them on. And she helped me and she found them.
wow.
So I think you're right. I think that the universe, even though I was offering it up to the universe as like a loss, I think that moment of her saying, no, let me find it for you, was the universe saying, hey, you need it back.
Yeah.
Also,
And
have
also,
you,
like, focus on like what's yours, you know? Like, it's not like always about like saving other people. That's a great instinct to have, but it's like, when are you like kind of selling yourself out? Where it's like, that's your stuff. And it's not like, yes, you can buy more, and that's like, you know, that's
Yeah.
not the point. The point is like, you broke into my space. You broke my property, and then you stole my property, and then you're trying to resell it. It's like, in all of that time, you could have like gotten a job at a surf
Right.
shop.
And not to mention
and
rear
been able to buy all of those things.
rear windshield completely smashed.
Yeah.
So that's a big cost.
And 6
you know?
other cars.
not
Yeah.
just a cost, like the fucking inconvenience of having to get that fixed. My
Yeah.
dad always says, because whenever I drive his car, he's like, you're going to crash it. I'm like, I'll pay for it. He's like, you're not, I'm going to be sitting in the repair shop. He gets really mad. Anyway, have you ever had a joke stolen? Because it's the same feeling. I've had that once too, where literally a celebrity watched my late night set, told
This
me,
is starting to become unbelievable. I know you're friends with celebs, but they're not watching your set.
wrote me an email saying how much they loved it. 2 weeks later, used one of my jokes as their Instagram caption. I was like, I felt so fucking violated.
I've had it. I've had someone just did something on Netflix, on one of the Netflix is a joke things, and I got like DMs, people like, she stole your thing. And it's like, here's what I choose. I choose to think that people are not stealing my jokes, even though it's absolutely word for word. I just choose. I mean, even though like you have the evidence and stuff, it's
I
like,
choose the same thing as you. I don't care. I think we
but
all.
I just have to be like, because it's easy to go, this person's like, it's like, it just doesn't matter. It's like,
No.
it's just, I just go like, and there's some like, I had a thing where someone posted something that was the exact same thing I did, and it was after I'd done it. And I just hit her up and was like, this is already out there. It's not a good look for you. I'm not mad at you. Just take it down.
Ultimately,
you told her to take it down.
Take it down.
Yeah.
You can't have the same, it's the exact same thing.
ultimately, yeah. Like
And who knows, maybe I said a hacky thing or something.
I look at myself as I'm a renewable resource. I don't care. Steal my shit. Go ahead. But at that moment, the first time it
No, it is
happened,
fucked
you're
up,
just
yeah.
like, you have so much power. I have nothing. I'm helpless. Like,
right.
You told me you fucking liked it.
It's always people that are like less successful than me that do it. So I'm like, have it. I'm better at this than you. I'm so much better. I could write that in my sleep. But also the joke that from the Netflix thing was a joke that I kind of didn't like doing anymore. Like I was just kind of felt like I'd just been doing it for a while. I'd already done it on like Canadian TV when I was in Montreal. Like I'd already like used it. And when I use it on my set, it feels like a cheap moment for me. And I remember seeing her do it and going like, you're doing that here? Like, this is like a real club. Like, why are you like, just like, I would not be comfortable doing that in front of some of the people, but you know, and then I just figured like, I have more than her, who cares? Like, and it doesn't matter. It's like, they've both been recorded in different places. Like I could make a whole to-do about it, or I can just, I didn't want it. Like, it's almost like I manifested it. I didn't want to do the joke anymore.
I have
and
a
now
question.
I'm not going to ever do it again.
I have a question for you guys. So this happened to Bobby. So let's suppose you had somebody send you an open micer, let's say from Sacramento,
Right.
an open micer. Someone's like, hey, I have this video of this open micer doing your entire 15-minute set at the store. But you know that this person's probably never going to make it, but they are going in the open mic circuit and doing the exact word for word joke.
It's embarrassing for them.
Because that's what happened to Bobby. And
No,
it
but
was a friend of mine who was like, wait, have I? And sent me the whole set.
You know what I would do? I would literally say to the person, so your friend was an open micer or no, just saw the thing?
Saw the thing. But weird because it was actually a coworker doing like a bringer room in Sacramento. And he went because that was like someone that he knew. But he had seen Bobby's show like 3 times before. And he was like, Khalyla, this sounds really familiar. And he sent the video. And I was like, that's word for word. So when he confronted the friend, he was like, yeah, dude, I just draw inspiration from like, comic idols that I like. I'm like, yeah, but that's verbatim.
Yeah. And also you can't make a meme into a joke. Like you can't make a thing that already exists into a joke. Like your comedy has to come from your head. I'm sorry. Like it just has to be yours.
Yeah.
Like you can't, if you hear someone's premise and you go like, ooh, I have a better way to word it. That's stealing a joke. You're stealing. It's like, and I'm not in other people's heads, and I would so much rather just not falsely accuse someone of something that I'm just like, it's good. It's like, if this happened, this is what's supposed to happen, and I'm just gonna like drop the joke, or I've already posted it. It's a bad look for you. I already have this done. I had a girl back in the day, I had this joke about like dogs being colorblind or whatever, and she did it verbatim in front of me, and I had done it in Montreal. I'd done it on Comedy Central. Like I'd already done it. Like it was an embarrassing amount of times I had done it. And she was like, she did it, and someone told me, and I just went like, hey, like, don't do my joke. And she's like, oh, I didn't. And I go, you did, and it's not your fault. Like it's fine. You've definitely seen me do it a million times, and just stop doing it. And she goes, I thought it was cheap anyway. And I was like, bye. And then years later, when Amy Schumer got in trouble for stealing jokes, when that was like in the news, she wanted to do, she was like being interviewed for an article, and she hit me up and she's like, hey, can we do about that time that like we had the same joke? I go, you stole the joke from me.
Amy Schumer?
That Amy Schumer was in the news for
Okay,
it.
yeah.
So this girl hit me up.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, they want to do an article. I think we should do like and this is like, you're trying to attach yourself to my name right now. I'm a successful comedian. And I just wrote her back. I went, you stole the joke. Whether you meant to or not, I'm not like mad at you. You stole the joke. I'd done it several times in front of your fucking face. I guess I was a little mad. I still am. No, but it was just like, and she goes, and then I said, and then you said, it's cheap. You can have it. No, bitch. It was a great joke. It was so good that you stole it from me. And whether you did it consciously or subconsciously, you did. And that's it. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't remember. I go, good day. And then,
Good day.
I've seen her. We're fine.
That
but it's
is
just like,
such a guy who hits on you and you reject him, and then suddenly he wants to tell you how ugly you are.
Yeah.
That's what she did
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
and that's why, like, I know I was saying that earlier with the other girl where I was like, but the joke felt, the jokes were out. I'd outgrown the jokes that the girl did on Netflix. So I'm like, but also I had a friend who, this girl that told me she didn't want to do comedy, and then she ended up like, she was like, oh, I do want to do comedy. And then she started telling me her jokes that she was doing at open mics, and they were jokes that I had just been doing for a full year in front of her. And I was like, those are, and she goes, oh no, sometimes like people pick up each other. I go, you've never written a joke, and all of your jokes are my jokes, and you've been at every show I've done. She's like, oh, and I'm like, some people are crazy, and they think that they can like be so weird. Like, you know, when you're getting lied to and it's just the two of you and you're like, is there a hidden camera here? Because we both know
What's
the
the
information.
point?
You know what?
But pathological liars, I think, and she was very rich. I think she was just so used to just like she can get whatever she wants. But I had to stop I went, not only can I not be friends with you, like for me, because you're literally the least safe person I've ever met, it would be bad for you to be friends with me. You're going and doing, I am a professional comedian. I'm well known. Like, you know, I wasn't like huge or anything, but I was like, well, no, like those jokes are like my jokes. Like those are Annie Letterman jokes. So you look like a fucking idiot. And also, get out of my house. Like, I was just like, good, you psycho, to say it to my own face.
Get out of my house.
And try to gaslight me about my own fucking jokes.
What did Bobby do when that happened? I'm assuming nothing.
I think I got more worked up than him because I was like, well, I have a direct line to who this person is because it was a coworker of my friends who went to the Bringer, show. So I was really embarrassed.
And when they said the thing about the homage and everything, that was to you? You had said something, or they said?
Yeah,
it to
I had said something.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, dude, like he can't do that. And Bobby was just like, he's never gonna make it anyway. So like, who cares? But I'm like, Bobby was more operating on a mindset of like, like let him have his moment. Like but I'm like, no, I need to just on your behalf because I was embarrassed.
Well, why is it that you
Codependent.
could? But why is it that you can do that and be upset that way?
Yeah.
But someone's allowed to steal your property.
Because she's more protective over Bobby, maybe.
I think it's because if there was information that I had dug up about that open micer's family, like he has 5 kids, looked at a picture, when someone is human to me versus just a thought, it really strikes me different. It hits me different where I'm like, fuck, they're really just like, everyone's just trying their best. And I get into this whole thing.
You're right.
No, you're
had
right.
Parents and
You're right.
siblings and, I think.
Whether it's a warm cup of coffee, baking in a warm sunlight, or listening to a sexy story, pleasure is all around us, okay? With Dipsy.
Well, not all of us.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Carlos is miserable.
With Dipsy, your sanctuary is waiting. Escape into a world where pleasure is your only priority.
Ooh.
I'm a very auditory person, so I love Dipsy because I'm able to, how do I say this? Fantasize about my high school crush or the boy next door, or
God.
what are some other stories that you're like?
Your work co-host, your coworker at your job,
the mic stand at the comedy club.
the random job. But guys, Dipsy is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed by women for women. It is a really fun time.
You can
to be honest.
all horned up and no one will know.
And they bring scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and characters, no matter who you're into or what turns you on.
Find stories about that intriguing coworker with a British accent, or hooking up with your hot yoga instructor. That'll be for you, Annie, since I don't go to yoga class.
I took you once.
Oh yeah,
It was Zoom. She shut the computer quite fast.
Yeah, that's true. But Dipsy also has sleep stories, wellness sessions, and they also now offer written stories. And we all really love Dipsy. We've been texting about like the different stories we've been listening to. Honestly, it's a good time.
Also, they have sleep stories and wellness stories as well, by the way. And now they also offer written stories.
Well, those aren't
Hard.
for Annie.
That's really hard for me to sell, guys.
Don't worry, we still have all the audio options.
You take the reading.
For listeners of our show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/Tuesday. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/Tuesday.
Dipsystories.com/Tuesday.
It's free. Honestly, you might as well sign up and just see what the deal is.
You're right. It's like Richard Kuklinski was a great dad, but did he tie cats together
Yes.
and, like torture animals and kill people in cold blood?
Don't know who he is, did he?
He did. Yeah. Richard Kuklinski.
Oh, God.
I think it's Richard.
Banana break?
Oh my God. He got horny from the fucking
know.
motor talk. He's like, I better stand up before my banana shows.
I hate to.
He loves pussy. See, finally, I'm letting you be straight.
I hate to speculate on your dick size yet again, but your body really indicates that you have a massive dong.
He always
Massive
shows a
dong.
Wait, someone told me that back in the day when you were doing open mics,
Yeah.
you used to take like boner pills.
Oh yeah, at the comedy store.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, with like it was just to
Just
be
getting
funny.
boned up at
I
fucking...
feel like I remember you guys talking about that, but you really took them?
Yeah, because some guys thought it was funny. They're called Hot Rod 5000.
Like from the gas station.
No, they're from a
Now,
nice...
again,
they're
you
not
said
from the gas
so
station.
Some guys. So you said some guys? That was funny?
I just didn't
So
want
you
to
did
say
it for
their
guys.
names.
You got a boner for
So
guys?
you got together with guys and you guys took boner pills? So
Yeah, at the
what did
Comedy
they
Store.
do?
You would get an erection for like 40 hours.
And then they'd blow you? Or like after you...
No, we wouldn't get blown.
What
at the
would you
Don't
do?
act like it's fucking not weird that you were getting boners with each other.
I thought it was funny at the time, and now looking back, it's weird.
Did I tell you a story about how I had a friend on the show Survivor and how she went really, really far on the show. But I didn't watch her season. So she was like, Khalyla, I want to go to the Philippines with you. So I was like, this bitch has been on Survivor. Like, she's going to be no problem to travel with. And that was a mistake because I didn't watch her season. When I came back from the Philippines, I watched her season and I said, I should have known. She was the villain of the fucking show.
Yeah, what was her name again?
I can't say it.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
tell
duh,
you.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'm internet friends with one of the most epic Survivor villains. She's a big fan of the show.
Of this show?
Corinne, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's amazing.
It would be so fun to do if they did like, I know they have done it, but like a version for people like us, like Survivor.
Glamping.
No, like a Survivor type or Big Brother, but it's like not comedian, but like us, the three of us, and maybe Carlos and Pete. And
I mean,
George.
Bobby and I have talked
And
about
Bobby.
this, and I just think that,
Bobby's busy.
you know,
Bobby's playing video games. He's not answering us. He's all of a sudden going to text us back when we're like, hey, do you want to go on a extreme camping
that's exactly,
situation?
if the cameras are on and you
Yeah.
tell him it's for TV, 1,000%.
He
But it
will
has to be
show
like
up.
ABC, right? It has to be like a good network.
Yeah, good money, but
We can't be getting him. He didn't go on Freeform, did he? Did he ever go on your show?
He did, yeah.
Oh,
he was
everyone?
on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so weird. Everyone.
even Jenna. I was watching this live on some lady on TikTok, and she pointed out a red flag in a man that I had never really considered before. And let me read it to you. I was like, wait,
Long
this has
yet bald
happened to
head?
me before. She said, red flag, a guy who actually chokes you as hard as you want the first time you ask.
Whoa.
Okay, I have a choke red flag. That's very different from that.
Explain.
My choking red flag is I hooked up with this guy who was a little choky, right? And he was really like, the appeal of him is he was at a party with my friends. I thought he was like kind of an idiot, but he was 6'8". And I mean, he was just so massive. But he was like kind of annoying. And then at the end of the night, we were leaving. And I said something where I was like, I just made some comment where I was like, yeah, I haven't had like a rough one in a while or something. And he clotheslined me onto the hood of a car. And I was like,
What does that
all right.
mean?
Like he just pushed me.
You
want to
be clotheslined is not fun.
Like I said, no, it was fun.
Oh, you like being clotheslined?
It was okay. The moment, okay.
Okay, here you go. Okay, anyway.
I'll be the car. I'll be the wait.
Yeah.
Do a fake version of it.
Okay, so like I'm the car and the guy. He just like went like that, pushed me under the car, but he was in the front. Like he just went like I was like I just haven't had like a rough sexual experience, and he just like smacked me down.
He smacked your
The
chest?
minute it was so hot. It was just what I want. It was just like what I had asked
Yeah.
for. And I was like, oh, this was like an old time. This is not how I am now. But I was just in for it, color me molested, but I like it rough. That used to be my line.
But you had just met that
I
night.
had said that, and he was a friend of my friend.
Okay.
They were like trying to set me up with, but I just found him to be like, he was very annoying. And he was so tall. It was like, you couldn't like ignore how annoying he was because there was so much annoying. And so I said my line. That's what it was. I said, calling me molested, but I like it rough. And he just, like without a beat, just like, and it didn't hurt me, but he just pushed me a little bit, and it was good. And then so I went home with him, and we had like 4 days of like a crazy thing. But he was like, he would check in too much. Like it was too sweet. So like he would be kind of like, and he'd go, like, hey, like he'd be like, I honestly thought he was gonna say I love you. Like it was like so close. Like, and I understand I was like probably allowing him to do things that weren't normal. It was a fluke for
What do
me
you
too.
mean? What can we
All
know?
right, I'm gonna just be.
Yeah.
This is old.
This is
old
Trash
me.
Tuesday.
Also,
dude.
even if it was the new you, it would still be okay.
we don't give a fuck. She fucked
I
her
know, but
brother.
it's just like I'm
I
in
fuck
love,
my
I'm
brother. I
different
like
now.
being
Yeah,
punched
you're
right
right.
in the
You're
fucking.
right.
All my nose smashed in.
That's how she got the gap. It's actually chipped. From cock. But
got my heel up on my pussy. Let's go.
Okay, start riding.
Hold
Put
on,
the
let me try
banana
that
in, put
too.
the banana
I'm
in.
joking. It's a joke.
Here, I got it too. Go ahead.
Okay. So there was like he would like spit in my mouth and like he just was so big and he had a huge dick. It was uncircumcised, which I
Respecting.
I enjoy.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed.
Same.
It does give you bacterial vaginosis about 99% of the time. So wash the schmeg out of your fucking pee hoods, okay? If you can just fucking take a little Q-tip. You don't have to put it in the hole. Just
Remove the turtleneck.
because I was smelling up the joint for a while, a couple weeks after that. But anyway, so
I love you.
but he was like falling in love.
Oh.
And I was like, you're not gonna, if you spit in my mouth, I'm not gonna meet your parents. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Really?
Really?
Why not?
it was a separate, you have to understand, I did not like this person.
Oh, okay. You just didn't like him.
He was a thing, but I used to have that where I was very disassociated with, like, I would disassociate, like sex from actual
love.
any sort of love or affection of my own like insecurities or whatever. And the reason I had such rough sex, I think, is because it got me out of my like fight or flight. Like it made me not feel raped, to be fake
Right.
raped kind of. And it
Why
just got me out of.
what is that like? Because you feel like you're choosing to do this, so like it's mine now.
I think so. And also it was almost role play-ish what we were doing. So it was like I wasn't like myself.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah, so I just wasn't feeling like I wasn't in myself, being myself. And which is like sad to think of, but it's still a struggle. I mean, I got diddled. But we're working on it in hypnosis. But
I also think this is very relatable.
yeah. But anyway, so he would like check in so much, which is like you do want someone to be nice. You don't want, but it was like breaking too much character. So I'd be like, hey, and I just remember being like, the only time I want you to say hey is when you've gone a little too far and I'm purple and you're pounding my chest. Like, come on, dude. Because it would be
Right.
too like, it was too either or. And then I brought
Rookie
him to a show.
mistake is you guys didn't have a safe word.
He came to a show. We didn't have a sit. You're right. And so, and hey was not my safe word. It was like, what is going on
So
here?
you're saying a guy who doesn't choke you enough is also a red flag.
It was just like, what are we doing here?
Like commit
Right.
or
Commit
not.
or not.
But there have been times, I will say this, I like a guy, my biggest turn on is when a guy knows his strength. So all of the physical things that he does is very measured in his head. I know that she can take this amount of blunt force, to the face. I know that. And that's the perfect guy for me. It's usually guys who are trained in MMA. It's usually guys who have done this over and over in practice, who know exactly what a punch feels like, how much force is behind it.
I've just never heard the
I
term
know what
blunt
you mean.
force.
Blunt trauma.
Not associated with a murder.
Now she's only heard blunt.
Am I the only one
She only knows
watching
blunt.
The Staircase? Like,
Yes.
I've just never heard it sexually, but I'm open.
So that's what I like, because I've had guys not know their own strength, and ask it. We're getting into a little rough play, and they go a little too hard, or they don't know how to pull hair properly. Then I'm just like, I don't like that. You didn't do it
A
correctly.
light pull is so annoying. When
Also,
it's like, is
guys-
it your elbow on there? Like, what are you doing?
Wait.
Also, when you pull hair, don't pull in the front of my head. Also, don't pull from the tips. Pull from
the scalp.
The scalp.
Yes, you're a fucking caveman.
I love that we all know how to pull hair.
Yes.
I know, it's making me horny.
Trios.
But also, wait, what was else I was thinking
We're all
about?
just pros at it. I do want to have a hair pulling contest at some point and see who does it best.
I have pulled your hair and it got weird. Remember it got weird? I was like, turn the cameras off.
It got weird.
But we're going to have to wipe off the camera lens real quick. Yeah, I feel like
We should just we should have forced sex between the three of us and see if we can have a podcast right after. We should all just commit to having sex.
I would do that, obviously.
And we just
I'm gonna clothesline Esther.
Listen, you know what we could do? And then put it on Patreon for $500,000. The discussion afterwards.
Yes.
You guys, we forced ourselves to have sex. And then now we're going to talk about it. Throw an episode up there.
We raped ourselves with our co-host
Self-induced
bodies.
rape.
One person wasn't raped. I'm like, ew, lesbians, gross. Okay, I guess I'll do it for the show.
If it's for work, that's like that
You
count.
can get as high as you want. I'll get as drunk as I
It's
want.
acting.
It's just Todd's got to give me the pass. It's work. It's like, Todd, you want
it's
this
work.
lifestyle or not?
It's a tax write-off.
You want this lifestyle? You want to go back and live in the car with me, Todd? I gotta eat some pussies, all right? This is behind the wall, okay?
You threatening Todd with the car.
You want to live in the car with me? Yeah, we're not breaking up. You're coming with me. You're gonna live in the car with me.
I just want to know if we would break somewhere in between it all. Because I can go in, I can dissociate from who I am, Khalyla, right?
I'm gonna be talking the whole time, bitch. You're gonna know
Yeah.
exactly who's here.
I'm gonna be laughing. and
I'm gonna
having
be
fun.
telling
No way, no
jokes.
way. I cannot show up as myself. I'm going to be someone different and I can get through the whole thing seamlessly.
Are you talking about the whole thing, Esther's Bush? I can
I can-
totally get through it.
I can
I'm gonna bring fucking shears.
literally, Esther, I promise you I can. But if I come in as me and you guys start calling me by my name, I can't do it.
I'm bringing this. I will do it, but I have the strap on.
I want to strap on
No,
too.
bitch, I'm the guy.
We can take turns.
I'm the alpha.
I don't want the strap on, so this works for me.
And finally, we've settled it. I'm in charge.
Wait, Esther can blow me and you can do the other end.
Oh my
I guess I'll
god,
have
you
to-
have to suck her fucking fake.
What is the purpose? That to me, I'm like, what do
We want to see her moves.
Nobody's getting anything here.
But what if we secretly fall in love and there's a love triangle?
That's what people speculate. I've seen some comments.
Okay, what about, let's say, for instance, I'm now in love
Did
with
I
Annie.
write them? Maybe.
I
Oh.
mean, listen, I think you guys kind of love me.
Look, what if...
I feel like everyone in this room just really wants a
No, but
piece.
in love, like Annie, like what if I really
Yes.
catch feelings for you, but then you catch feelings for Esther, but Esther
No,
only
when
has
you guys
feelings
play
for
hard
me.
to get and don't respond to my text, I'm like, they're so into me. Fuck me. There's no response. Wow,
Playing
they're that
games.
into me. Oh, keep playing, bitches.
Wait, that's amazing. I'm gonna copy that. I love
No,
that.
you already do it. There's nothing. Oh, you're gonna copy when people don't respond.
Yeah.
No, weren't we talking about the last episode? If a guy can't get hard, was that with you?
I don't know.
Or I was on something where someone was like, when a guy, I'm like, I just go like, I'm just too hot.
Oh no, we did talk about that in the last episode.
You
where
just
it's like,
can
I don't-
reframe everything to just be like, I mean, you don't have to operate in the world that way.
But-
You don't go to court with it, but it's for your own, the inside court, the inner court.
But like we have our own egos. If I can't get a guy there, it is a hit to my ego. So I don't want to be around it when he can't like get it back up, or if he goes like flaccid, halfway in between. Because I always think I'm gonna take it on as my shame, so I just have to leave. Be like, hey, it's okay.
I
let's
know,
do
it's
this
like,
another
can we just
time."
end it? You figure it out. We'll get back together later.
This is why like a sexual history report is really valuable. It's like, how many women have you
I
been
would
with?
love for someone to find a sexual history report on me. I had blacked out so many years. I would love the scribe to reveal themselves. I have no
but
clue.
for a guy, because it's like if they've been with tons and tons of people and this is not going to be that special for them, like forget it. I'm not wasting this.
I have a question. I was talking to a handsome male comic last night. He's like not well known, but he's like a good looking guy. These guys like really do. I'm starting to have like a lot of compassion for that type of guy because they really do just see the lens from their own, like the world from their own lens. And they do just assume girls are like them. Cause I can't remember what I was talking about. Maybe I was talking about like wanting to go see, when I saw Green Day or something, I wanted to meet Billy Joe. And he's like, oh, wouldn't have Todd have been jealous? And I was like, Todd was with me. What did you think I was going to blow him? Like they just assume if you admire someone, you want to suck their dick.
Oh,
I never, and this is what I want to ask you guys, because I know there are girls that are like that. They're chuckle fuckers. They're the roadies on the road. Like there's no shame in that. Like I love chuckle fuckers and stuff. For me, I always saw very clearly that if you like fuck someone that's up here and everyone's trying to fuck, that it would devalue you.
Yeah.
I always wanted to like there to be like a mutual admiration, like I never really like, it's not like when I was doing nothing, but when I started comedy, like if I were to go into like Green Day's green room, I would be like, did you see my set? Like, are you gonna come to my show? You know?
Well,
I was on the same festival as them. Like, I was trying to get back to be like, we're like
I'll answer
Peers.
that
They
by
view them as peers, not.
I would want to be viewed as a peer. I just never, and maybe it's because of the stuff that happened with my teacher, but I never saw like a gain. You know, when people are like, I had this guy that worked at a really big network back in the day who like invited me to the Soho House to talk about a project. And I naively
yeah.
was like, oh, but he started just touching my knee a bunch. And I went, like this is the thing. And he was married. So I kept going like, oh, let me see pictures of your kids. Like I just kept being like,
That dance, doing the
acknowledging
dance.
his marriage, right? Without like swatting him because this was like, he was going to give me like almost like a sitcom, really. And he's like, the thing I love about you is how promiscuous we are. And you are. And it was so weird because my set was about, at that time, this was like 2012.
I'm like,
you
gonna
can
start
actually
crying.
see my set.
This is making me so angry.
But you can see my set online. Like it was from like, I did a showcase in 2012. That was like what my set was back then. It was all about, if you see any jokes I'm doing now, I fixed them and made them better. I haven't been in a special yet. My jokes were about how I had just quit drinking and how sex was like disgusting to me. And I used to like do it when I was drunk and how it was so weird. I used to be like a slut because I just didn't relate to that at all. So it was just so weird that he didn't hear my set. Like he didn't see what my set was about. I was like, but I'm not like talking about being promiscuous. I'm talking about like having a drinking problem and how I'm not like that now. And so that was a good lesson too, where I was like, I think some people just hear keywords, you know, they're not really.
And they also see you and they don't even hear it. They're like,
Right.
I want to like.
I was like, I always had like kind of like a bigger, I don't know. I always thought I had like an but it wasn't. And that's good to know when I'm like delivering my jokes. It's like, make sure I only have so much control over how things land, but it's good to be conscious of that. So then what were you saying?
I think that girls who, chuckle fuckers, say, for instance, or people who, shoot for the moon and want to sleep with, what's his name? The guy, Khloe Kardashian's dude, Tristan Thompson, say, for instance, right? I think they understand that the dynamic is going to be that dynamic, right? And that it's probably, there is something to be gained, but there's also a lot. You're never really going to, which is what I feared when I met Bobby. All the reason why when the first, we went on a date that afternoon and he said, hey, come to the Comedy Store tonight. I was like, no, thank you. Because I knew that was his place of power, that there would be a big power dynamic between us, that I would feel like he would feel like a king in his home, and I was just
as someone that saw you at the Comedy Store, I was like, who's Bobby Lee? I was like, what is this thing here? I was like, oh my
but I think
God.
I met you already like 3-4 years into my relationship with him, right? So it was months before I ever stepped foot there, and the first time that I did go into anything with him was at a benefit show for like at the Laugh Factory, and I was like in and out of there. But it's because I fear that. I fear that big power dynamic.
How did you even know to? I would have never like.
It's just living in LA long enough.
Yeah.
It's like, who am I? The mutual admiration thing. I'm like, this is not going to come overnight.
We got molested by people in power.
Yes.
I just have always been conscious of that it's like, they don't give you anything.
Right.
I think
you're right. When the first time that happened to me, I was 16 and I went on a date with a manager of, I'll say the bands like the Dead Kennedys and and when he was 30 years old and the
band's cool, not him.
Yeah. He managed a lot of like big bands, and there was a show at the House of Blues that he invited me to. He got me backstage. I drank a lot of vodka. I remember being on like watching the show at the House of Blues, and he was an important person there. Clearly, he knew everybody there. And I remember him grinding up behind me, and then I turned my hand, I don't know what it was, or like he took my hand and it rubbed up against a belly button ring. And I was like, this guy is a fucking creep. And not to say that the belly button ring is what made him a creep, but I knew that it was he was trying to get my hands down his pants on the dance floor. And so what I did was, he had driven me there. I'm 16. I don't have money. I'm all the way in Hollywood. I don't have money to take a taxi to Pasadena.
And you don't know that like people might not want to just be your friend. Like you don't know that yet. You're like, oh, maybe they just thought I was cool. Right. You're like too young to process that.
You're too young. It was really, and so what I did, he did this. I froze and I'm like, oh, I think I gotta go. He's like, well, I'm not gonna drive you. And so he was like, here's $50.
Oh, okay.
Here's
I was like,
$50.
this is a great story.
Yeah,
this
this
is a
was
triumphant
But it was
ending.
super. I don't know if it was fully $50, but I remember having to get off the outside off the cab at exact when it hit 50, and then walk the next like 2 miles home.
Why do you got to bring
because-
Esther's people into it? Put your arm down.
because I only had $50, and I remember
Yeah.
feeling so shameful and feeling like, oh my God, like who do I think I am? Like at some point I believed that this was fun or like it was an important, and I think you're right. You
that's
learn
what-
early.
Yeah.
Can I say, my mom has a story exactly like that where she went somewhere with a guy when she was super young and realized right away it was scary, and she had to walk home in the middle of the night. It's like the same story where these guys just like dump you off because you're not giving them what they want.
Is that why you walk every day for your mom?
Waiting.
It's like
I've also never in my 13 years in this business,
I thought you were going to say on this earth. I was like, finally she admits it. She's 13.
I'm just realizing I've never had someone in this business like be like, you want something in exchange for, never mind. I'm just, you guys must be hotter than me. It's settled.
You're just short. Like,
No
there's
one can
delivering them.
But Esther, here's why. Annie and I have slut face.
We were baby
sluts.
I do think when you're a baby slut and when you have this stuff happen, there is like, I don't know how to not be sexual. Like I really like, I try like to just be like normal, but it's a part of like, it just became who I am a little bit,
Yeah, I sucked a lot of dick. I didn't sleep with a lot of people, but I was a baby slut in other ways. I could not stop making out.
Yeah, I
sucking
didn't fuck
dick,
that
and
many
all that,
people
yeah.
until I started getting blacked out.
I
Where I'm like, you all raped me.
I will say, I feel like now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like really feeling more confident about maybe dressing sexier or like posting sexy pics, because I'm like, to be honest, like I'm not in my 20s. Not everyone wants to fuck me. Like I'm like almost like owning that, you know what, I'm a little older and I'm gonna have fun. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but when you're 20, like
celebrating,
scary men want to rape you all the time, I think. And then when you're in your 30s, they don't care. They're focused on the youngins. So
No, it's just really much scarier men want to rape you. Like much scarier.
That is very sinister. If at 37 a guy really wants to
Like when
rape.
you're in your 70s, there's some very scary men that want to rape you. Like it starts to get scary. They're not just taking your fins. They're breaking in though. But yeah, that guy, I went to the Soho House with him, the executive, and he like took me. There was like a billiards room. He took me in, and he just like, I wasn't looking, and he wrapped his arm around my waist, and he pulled me in, and he went, your ass looks so hot in those pants," and I was like, "What?" And I literally went. I put an X up and I went, no. I went, I'm good at comedy. Like, I'm good. Like, I believe in myself. Like, I was like, I'm talented.
you said that?
Yes. I was like,
What
I'm
did he
good. I
say?
worked so hard. I was like, I'm good. And he went, oh, I'm so embarrassed. And I was like, look, man, like, I just thought you were married. Like, I didn't think this was like a thing, And he was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm in this bad marriage. And we're like going down the elevator at this point.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
my
it's
God.
over, right? And I'm like, he had just told me he wanted to have like a version of Louis that's with me, right? And it's like, I'm like, what a weird,
Yeah, it's preying on your dreams.
right? And then, so we like get down, he's like, hey, like, just hopefully like, just to keep, for my own like embarrassment, if you can just keep this between us. And he goes, but I'll see you in Montreal. And what happens in Montreal stays in Montreal. And I was like, I'm still gonna not. I went, I'm still good. And then I called him the next day. I called his office the next day and I was like, so when are we moving forward with the thing? And I ended up doing they ended up paying me for this web series, but it just didn't work out for other reasons, but they were going to go through with it. Cause I just was like, I'm going to follow up. I had another show I used to work on where the executive or where the main producer who I was like friends with, we'd all go hang out at his house and stuff. I had been dating someone. And then the minute that we broke up and I was like going as a single person, he kept trying to make out with me. And it was like, shoot your shot once. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm funny. I'm fun. Like, it's flattering. Yes. Thank you for like being attracted to me and stuff. But like, I like this job and I don't like you like that. And I've never thought of you like that, So he leans in and I was like, no, like I'm not. And he was like, And then he was like embarrassed. Then I'm there like trying to make him not feel embarrassed, right? Like, it's cool, man. Just like,
Yeah.
it's just a no. He tried again, and I was like, okay. So then I text him, and this was like a show I wasn't like working full time on. So I text him the next day. I go, when am I coming back in the room? Like, it's just like, you're not taking, like,
Good.
I have grace for you. You're attracted to me. You're in a weird position where you only hang out with people you work with or whatever. I'm giving you all the grace in the world that I can possibly give you. That second time in, you're not going to fuck with me like that. Like, you're not going to take away my like opportunities. And they never have. Like, it never has happened to me like that. So that's been good. But it's like, it just is like, where you're like, what the hell?
How impressive is that, though, that you stood up for yourself? You then still, like you said, the next day, you still pursued the opportunity. You weren't like knocked down, like have to move home, I'm scared. You fucking persevered. And like now you have the career that you're supposed to have. You're authentically you. And there's no like male trying to fuck, except for Carlos. But I think that's so cool. Like the fact that you went through that is awesome. Actually.
No, but I also feel like,
But I'm also angry.
But
about
also
it.
speaks to the fact that you're well trained.
Yeah.
Like me, you've had countless of those experiences to where it's like, by the time you get to where we're at now, like you can see it a mile away.
it's
You
such
can
a
see it
dance you have
6
to do
miles
because
away.
if you call it out the way that you
Yeah.
want to, like, you are the they're like, you're crazy, you're the like, it's really wild. And this is not me being like, time's up, we gotta take him down, but it's just like, it's just the truth. It's just the truth of what happens. And it's like, you just get sexualized, whether you're trying to or not, or whatever you're doing. It's like, I'm on stage going, I literally had a joke that was like, I don't like sex. Like, I would literally go like, I can't believe that. I'm like, have you had sex sober? It's disgusting. Like, I mean, it was, the whole set was about how I hated having sex.
Yeah.
And he's like, sex?
That's
I
all I
love
hear.
sex.
Yes.
All girls talk about is sex. I'm
That's
like,
about it's like the same when the food
all you
thing.
talk to me about is sex. All you've talked to me about ever has been sex.
It's the same way your body responds to don't eat, don't eat, don't eat, and then all you do is eat.
Yes.
Right? It's like they're just wired,
Oh,
hardwired.
Yeah.
and you know what I keep thinking about is when Dr. Drew told us that in the 70s, like there was this like air of teaching men like women want the sex pulled out of them, like
Oh.
make them do it. Like what?
They need men to pull out our sexuality.
Yeah, they're
Like,
just
oh,
waiting. What?
That's
Like, and that's probably men who had that.
And also, as I would say maybe the most avid comment reader of the podcast, it doesn't normally like, oh wow, they're talking about sex. It's like, we're trying to just talk like that. When I was just talking about the choking thing, like I'm telling that as like an experience from like my life that's like relatable. I'm not like doing this so you guys get boned. If you get boned up, like that's your
but also I'm
responsibility. Like, I'm not
It's tr-
here like, hey, are you like, it's just, you know, like I'm talking to, I
listen,
love my boy slugs, but I'm talking to the girls.
Listen,
We're
also
talking to the girls. We're happy you're here. We love you.
Yeah,
But we are
listen in.
talking to the girls. We're very happy you're here. We think you're learning. I think boy slugs are going to change the world. But honestly, like, we're talking to the girls. Let us talk to the girls the way we want to talk to the girls. This is not us being like, girls, like fucking go choke on dicks, even if you don't want to. Like, we're literally just like being ourselves.
Also, if you think that we're coming on the show and we're always talking about sex, I can assure you when the cameras are off, we talk about sex even more. Like, that's literally all we talk about. It's something that has been, a source of horrible PTSD, but also a big source of laughs and good times and bonding.
yeah.
And it's something that I just can't shut up about, even in my real life. I like talking about sex. Did I have once upon a time have dreams of becoming like a sex scientist? I did. I really did. I am
Esther,
fascinated.
that actually sounds like what your job should be. A sex
I
scientist.
know, the observer. Well, don't you feel like also, because we started stand up around the same time, there was this like, I'm so curious if you feel this, because for me, it was ingrained in me. Do not talk about sex. Do not talk about anything girly. Do not dress feminine.
Yeah.
Do not show your body. And for the first 5
Don't
years,
fuck male
at
comics,
least-
even though all they're doing is trying to fuck you the entire time you're there. Don't fuck them, but they're literally, that's all they want is to fuck you.
So it's like, that's why I almost feel like now I'm like, oh, I want to dress a little sexy. I want to
Yeah.
talk freely about sex, because it was so, and also how my interests were trivialized. Like, so what if I care about makeup and clothes and all that stuff? Like, it was just, I could never dare speak of those things on stage, because then the men wouldn't relate to me.
Yeah, but don't you think it's like, I always think about it like, is this like a nature situation where it's like, like women we're naturally born with more empathy because we have to take care of kids and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like that we are able to like sit through a man's like bullshit act about his things that have nothing to do with us, because that's just like,
I can see
okay,
that.
like you're our sons, you're
It's
our
true.
fathers, you're our brothers. Like,
Our threshold for having to sit and listen through men speaking is really high. Sometimes I have just glazed over look and I'm like, why am I still here? And I thought to myself, I am the fucking MVP. Women are the fucking MVPs. You think we fucking talk a lot and you have to sit through
Are
it?
you
The
kidding
shit that we
me?
have to sit through, I'm like, Like, I need to get the fuck, I got shit to, I go masturbate at home. I have fucking time. But why do I do that? Why do I just sit there? And I'm like,
but then if you're like, hey, I don't want, like, I can't tell you, like, I know I've talked about my one ex-boyfriend that I always see and he like won't go, like, I'm always like, okay, good. And he just keeps, it's like, can I just want to set a boundary without having to fucking scream at you. Like, can I just go like, hey, I'm good. Like, it's all in love. I just don't want to hear about what project you're working on.
My new goal for this podcast is I want to have that guy on who wrote that article that women aren't funny. Carlos, who is it? I want to have him on here and I want to fucking talk to him and be like, let's do this.
well, I want to know if he's funny.
Oh, this motherfucker died at 62 in 2011.
Oh, damn it. Never mind.
We
Somebody-
can have
Rest
him on,
in
dig him
hell.
up. Esther, you like graves?
Exhume. I love an opportunity for an exhuming.
Oh, you know what's funny? Not that funny. Esophageal cancer. He was talking too much shit
Oh my
about
God.
women. His esophagus
I
gave
actually
out.
do think that's real.
What?
I do think your body,
Yes. Your
100%.
body will take on whatever hatred is swarming your body is going to become a hate cancer.
He died at the hospital my dad was trained at.
Whoa, your dad is our hero. Your dad killed him. Thanks, Mr. Herrera.
I probably bothered
Dr.
him.
Herrera.
Wait, I have a question for you guys. What are your thoughts on iOS allowing you to unsend messages?
oh, I love it.
Oh, the guy at Louis Vuitton said that it's not good because it's not reality.
Unsend whatever you want. I don't care.
So you're saying, Carlos, that this guy thought it was not good because it's not reality, and we should just allow for mistakes or
Exactly.
Like you shouldn't be able to correct a mistake.
Exactly.
Because it's not real.
It makes the texting less like a real conversation. And more
It isn't
curated.
real.
But what's the reason? What are reasons that
Did you
people
guys? Oh wait!
unsend?
Oh my God! Did you guys respond to me and then unsend it? And
Yeah.
that's what it was. Okay, cool.
So what are
To be double ignored, it's like crazy. You're like, does this my phone work?
She got a new phone.
let's list the reasons why people would unsend a text
Okay,
message.
would love to start because I do it. They have this feature on Instagram DMs and I've already used it. So like sometimes this is so lame, but like there'll be like a brand that I'm like, maybe they'll send me something for free and I'll go to message them and then I'll see that I messaged them 2 years ago and they never responded. So I'm like, unsend that one and then redo.
They screenshotted it. I think, you know what I like about it? It's people can still see that you sent something. Like I know like on Instagram, like people know. Like, you know, a lot of times I look at something and you don't know that I've looked at it, but I've looked at it, so I've already seen
Absolutely.
it. If that disappears, like you're a fool to me. And like I feel like one of the more embarrassing things than sending something that you wish you hadn't sent is getting caught deleting it.
That's a
Yes,
great
So
point.
I don't do it.
So Facebook, Messenger, and WhatsApp, when you unsend a message, it tells you that the person has unsent a message. And to me, that makes me, I don't know, it's never a good feeling where I'm like, and sometimes I ask the person, hey, what did you unsend? Oh, like it was just an error in like how I framed I'm like, well, why did you feel the need to unsend it? Like, give me the typo, give me all of that.
You almost make yourself more guilty. Like if you
Yes.
accidentally send something, why do you have to unsend it? Why can't you just say, oops, I sent that by accident?
Exactly.
I just unsend them. I don't care. It's like something happened on my phone once where one of my ex-boyfriends that I had a really toxic relationship with, he had texted me such crazy. He used to get mad at me when I would go like to yoga or something. He'd still be asleep. He would be like, I would have done the laundry and he'd be like, why the fuck would some stupid bitch wash all my shorts? Like, you fucking bitch, you watch it. Like, he would just be in like a weird, he was crazy. He would be like screaming at me on these texts, like these long texts, right?
Sounds like what I say to my mom. You bitch, you washed it. My dirty thing.
But it would be like, also like then he'd be like, oh, found them. My bad. Ignore that text or whatever. And there were so many of them like, I wish your boyfriend stabbed you in the head. Like, he was just like, there were like abusive, crazy things. He was a writer. He was very talented. His insults were
Very
quite beautiful.
creative.
If I could pull myself apart. I was like, this is pretty good. Great listener. But I went back to look at the text like after we had broken up, and somehow my phone deleted them. I don't know how that happened. It deleted them, and I was happy. I don't want to have that in my phone anymore. I don't want to see that. It's okay. He's damaged. It's not like I don't even take it personally anymore. It's like good luck.
I really can't
Seek help. Goodbye.
I can't think of an example where I would use that feature in text. Can you?
Yeah.
What?
Probably just to people that I like love, because sometimes if I feel extra emotional, it's basically sometimes I read a text that I send and I felt very strongly about it in that moment, but I now look at it, I'm like, wow, that was rude and inappropriate. And like Annie said, I don't want them to have to open their messenger and see that that's still there, even though we've made up.
You had like an impulsive moment.
Yeah, let's say like my, let's say it's my mom, because I lash out at my mom a lot because there's a lot of issues.
She lashed you.
She. So basically, it's like there's I love you, mom. Good night, darling. I love you. But above those text messages is a very angry thing that I had just sent her 2 days prior.
You worked through
and
it.
it's like when she opens to text me, that's still there.
Yeah.
And we've already worked through that. So it's like I don't want to have that there anymore. Does that make sense? It's just going to remind her of a pretty...
I thought you were going to say
a
like...
cute idea.
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say like you were feeling over emotional and then you got kind of embarrassed at how like nice you were being, because I used to, when I would do like in high school, I'm very lucky, but I would just like find pills and snort them. Like I just was like...
What?
Yeah, I just was like... I don't know. I was a little druggy. I was just trying things out. And doing
that
things.
backfired for me once.
But I took something that made me so emotional and like sappy that I wrote my parents like poems and I put them in envelopes. I like sealed them with a kiss. I was like 15, and this was when I was like really like, at odds with my parents, and I slid them like under the door. And I remember in the morning being like, ooh, I gotta get that back.
We will see you guys next week for a brand new episode, and we're manifesting you to subscribe, okay? Show us if it works or not.
Bye, guys.